Hotties love our show. He's romantic and me. We will do this show every Monday. Won't send you on a search, but we gotta say. Scrolls with such as teas. Hotties love the show. Oh, hotties love the show. Well, to see their hotness. Hotties love the show. Hotties love the show. To love our hotties.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Hotties of a Show, or technically today, Hotties of a Movie. But come on, Mean Girls absolutely belongs here. This movie basically defined an entire generation. Quotes, fashion, cafeteria politics, burn book, pink outfits, mall culture, flip phones, early 2000s energy. This movie created so many celebrity crushes, it's ridiculous. Everybody had a favorite plastic, everybody had a favorite outfit, everybody wanted to sit at that lunch table even though it looked emotionally terrifying. And what made Mean Girls work so well is that every character brought a completely different vibe. Right? You had the queen bee, the girl next door, lovable airhead, rich dramatic friend, and the sarcastic alternative girl. There was literally somebody for everybody in this movie. So today we're heading back to North Shore High to talk about some of the unforgettable hotties from Mean Girls. And seriously, on Wednesdays, we wear pink. Let's do it. First, we have Regina George, played by Rachel McAdams, the queen bee herself. Now look, Regina wasn't just attractive. Regina was intimidatingly attractive. Played by Rachel McAdams, Regina had blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, flawless makeup, perfect fashion, and that kind of confidence that made everybody around her nervous instantly. She walked through hallways like she owned the entire building. And she kind of did. Rachel McAdams absolutely crushed this role because she balanced beauty with complete psychological warfare. 1 second, Regina looks sweet and charming. The next second, she's emotionally destroying somebody while smiling. And somehow that made her loved by people even more. Plus, visually, Regina became one of the defining blonde bombshell characters of the 2000s. Pink outfits, the skirts, hoop earrings, glossy lips, perfectly styled hair. Everything about her screamed rich, popular girl energy. And the confidence was a huge part of that attraction too. Regina never acted unsure of herself. Even when her entire social empire was collapsing, she still somehow carried herself like the main character of reality itself. And to be clear, the Christmas talent show performance alone permanently changed brain chemistry for an entire generation. Next, we have Katie Heron, played by Lindsay Lohan. Katie Heron was the ultimate early 2000s girl next door crush. Played by Lindsay Lohan, Katie had red hair, freckles, bright eyes, and this natural, approachable beauty that instantly made her likable. And Lindsay Lohan was everywhere in the early 2000s. So she was one of the defining celebrity crushes of that entire era. What made Katie attractive, though, is how relatable she felt. At first, she's awkward, innocent, homeschooled, and completely confused by American high school culture. Then slowly, she transforms herself into one of the plastics. And honestly, the glow-up scenes hit hard back then. Straighter hair, the makeup, the pink outfits, the confidence boost. You could literally watch Katie becoming more aware of how attractive she was throughout the entire movie. But unlike Regina, Katie felt approachable. She had warmth to her personality, and visually, Lindsay Lohan just had that perfect early 2000s teen movie look. Natural beauty mixed with movie star charisma. Plus, the chemistry with Aaron Samuels made total sense because Katie felt realistic as an actual teenage crush instead of some exaggerated fantasy character. Next, we have Karen Smith. Karen Smith was played by Amanda Seyfried. Karen Smith might secretly be one of the funniest characters in the entire movie. Played by Amanda Seyfried, Karen had blonde hair, huge expressive eyes, soft voice, and this lovable, clueless energy that somehow made her impossible to dislike. And honestly, Amanda Seyfried naturally has this doll-like appearance that worked perfectly for Karen. She looks sweet even when saying the dumbest sentence imaginable. Karen wasn't intimidating like Regina or manipulative like Gretchen. She was just floating through life on pure vibes. And somehow that became incredibly charming. Plus, visually, Karen absolutely matched the glamorous plastic aesthetic. Pink clothes, shiny makeup, curled blonde hair, low-rise fashion. She looked like a walking early 2000s magazine cover. But what really made Karen memorable was the innocence. Half the time, she genuinely looked confused by reality itself. The famous weather scene alone made Karen Smith legendary forever. Amanda Seyfried gave Karen this weird combination of beauty and complete airheaded chaos that made the entire character iconic. Next, we have Gretchen Wieners, played by the beautiful Lacey Chabert. Gretchen Wieners brought pure, anxious, rich girl energy to Mean Girls. Played by Lacey Chabert, Gretchen had perfectly styled brown hair, glossy makeup, designer outfits, and this non-stop dramatic energy that made every scene more entertaining. And honestly, Gretchen always looked good. Layered tops, skirts, jewelry, perfectly coordinated outfits. She looked like somebody had spent 2 hours getting ready for homeroom. And what made Gretchen attractive was that underneath all the gossip and panic attacks, she clearly just wanted people to like her. That's emotional insecurity, and that made her feel human. Plus, Lacey Chabert naturally has this expressive face that made Gretchen's constant emotional breakdowns hilarious. The character was basically stressed 24 hours a day trying to maintain her social status. And honestly, the line delivery from Gretchen is still incredible. Every sentence sounded like the end of the world, which somehow made her even more lovable. And last, we have Janice Ian, played by Lizzie Kaplan. Now, for a lot of people, Janice Ian was the crush of the movie because Janice brought alternative, sarcastic energy into a world filled with fake popular people. Played by Lizzie Kaplan, Janice had dark hair, heavy eyeliner, layered goth-inspired outfits, and this dry, sarcastic personality that instantly made her stand out from the plastics. And to be real, alternative girls absolutely owned the 2000s. Janice felt cool because she clearly didn't care about fitting in. That confidence made her attractive in a completely different way than Regina. She wasn't polished or glamorous. She was expressive, artistic, sarcastic, and emotionally chaotic. And Lizzie Kaplan's delivery made every line 10 times funnier. Janice always looked like she was one inconvenience away from screaming at somebody. Which, to be fair, she usually was. But visually, Janice became iconic too because she represented that darker alternative side of early 2000s teen culture. Black clothes, dark makeup, messy hair, band kid energy. Meanwhile, everybody else looked like they just left a mall photo shoot. That contrast made Janice unforgettable. And then we gotta talk about the fashion too, because Mean Girls captured early 2000s style perfectly. Everything in this movie screams 2004. Pink everywhere, velour, miniskirts, low-rise jeans, tiny purses, glossy lips, layered tank tops, hoop earrings, flip phones. Watching Mean Girls now honestly feels like opening a time capsule from the mall era. And what's funny is a lot of this fashion actually came back around again, which means somehow Regina George accidentally became fashionable twice. And the reason Mean Girls created so many crushes is because every personality type felt completely different. You have Regina, who was intimidating confidence, Katie, who was relatable sweetness, Karen was lovable chaos, Gretchen was dramatic rich girl energy, and Janice was sarcastic alternative cool. The movie understood that attractiveness isn't just about looks. Personality matters too. And honestly, every single actress completely committed to their role, which made the characters feel real enough for people to obsess over for decades afterwards. So yeah, Mean Girls absolutely earned its place in Hotties of a Show, or movie, whatever, you get it. Same thing. This film gave us iconic characters, legendary quotes, unforgettable fashion, and enough celebrity crushes to last an entire generation. And honestly, the movie still holds up ridiculously well. Now we want to hear your Mean Girl crushes in the comments. Were you Team Regina? Team Katie? Team Karen? Team Gretchen? Or were you all about Janice Ian? And also, how many of you still quote this movie on a weekly basis? If you enjoyed this episode of Eyes of a Show, make sure you like, subscribe, and stick around because we got plenty more nostalgia and chaos on the way. And remember, you can sit with us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.